the boomer owner who's in their, I would say like 60s to 70s, that is just thinking about like, when am I going to retire? And a lot of times they're holding on longer and longer in this uncertain world, and they're worried about inflation. So they're like, maybe I need to work a little bit more, before I hang it up. But but a lot of times what triggers the boomer owner is like a health scare or a family wake up call or something where it's a lot of times it's the spouse just saying like, damn it, I'm going to leave you if you don't stop working all the time. What are you doing? I want to travel. I want to enjoy myself. And a lot of these people are like wrapped around their business workaholics. And it's really like a family or a health thing usually that will trigger, that I call a triggering event to get them serious about selling. And so just being like respectful of that and looking for that. And when you start talking to those owners, kind of like asking them, asking them how their family is, asking them how their health is, asking them why, how long do they want to stick around? And you'll get to those answers pretty quickly usually. But there's also a really good seller group that's a little bit under the radar. And I would call those like empty nesters. They're a little younger. And there's a lot of folks, I'd say it's a decent percentage of sellers I represent aren't the boomer owners. And this is what surprised me as a broker. A lot of them are like 40s, 50s, and they get to there's like a major point that that it's usually men get to in middle age where they're like they were head down focused raising kids, growing their business, and like it's all about kind of like getting the kids to college. And then as soon as they get out the door and get off to college, they kind of come up for air and they realize like, that's when a lot of divorces happen. That's when a lot of like things change because you like build your life all around your kids and your business is kind of serving your life and your kids. And when your kids get out the door, all of a sudden everything's up in the air. But I've talked to a lot of sellers that tell me, the reason I want to sell is this is all I've been doing for 20 years, 25 years. So maybe they started in their 20s and now they're 50 and they still have lots of energy and they have lots of knowledge now and they know how to run a business. But if all they've done is that, and all of a sudden their kids are out of the house and all of a sudden they can be mobile, the world is kind of opening up to them and they realize I've got about a good 10, 15 years. If I ever want to do anything else with my life, it's now. And I hear that from people. And so like I just sold an auto shop and it was a cool business. But he was in that boat. He was just like, you know what? I've done this for 25 years. I just realized like if it's now or never. I'm just going to keep building trucks my entire life and that's going to be all I ever do, or it's time for me to like do something else. And a lot of people have dreams that they've kind of put on hold while they raise their family and raise their kids. And now a liquidation event, like an exit, gives them some capital to turn a new chapter in their life. And I want to encourage y'all to not discount. Like I see people on Twitter and other things just thinking like, it's so great. Why are they selling it? And like they think it's a scam if they're not, if they're not 80 years old and they're trying to sell their business at 50, that there must be something wrong with it. It must be a scam or something like that. But there's some really good businesses that get sold by that kind of midlife crisis group of sellers as well.